Told you I was going to make you a video on things that I, don't like a lot, that I'm getting burnt out on whatnot, that I'm seeing from buyers and sellers. So I'm going to make this video strictly about sellers, about that subject, and I'm going to explain everything. So please watch this all the way through before anybody gets upset or anything like that. If they're going to, I will explain everything coming up. Now, before I get started, I am not downing Whatnot itself whatsoever. Uh, Whatnot is an amazing platform and everything. Actually, I have my Whatnot link below if anybody chooses to join Whatnot. They can use that link and get a $10 credit, and it'll also give us a credit as well. Uh, but as far as Whatnot as a platform, I love it. As far as most of the actual sellers, I absolutely love, and that's the times that I love when I'm actually on Whatnot, because they actually don't do a lot of this stuff. They care about the actual people that buy stuff from them. They don't, gouge them with prices. They actually care about the actual people that actually buy from them and want to help them and treat the person as an actual collector in the diecast collecting community, instead of just like a money sign, pretty much. That's the best way to put it. Uh, but there are a lot of sellers like that, and just to name a few, House 77Q, Hull Incorporated, PTS Diecast, uh, Tiny Cars, Collectors Alley AZ, Arizona. I'm missing out on a lot of them. There are a lot of them. Frogs Diecast that I love to buy from a lot, that aren't like what I'm getting ready to say. And also the stuff I'm getting ready to say, sometimes sellers will mention this stuff, but they won't say it in a way where it's downing the actual people who's wanting to buy stuff, or it makes the people who's wanting to buy stuff feel bad, or it's uh, making it look like that's all they're worried about is the actual um, dollar signs. Now I get it. Every seller has to make money, or they wouldn't be doing what they're doing. I've sold stuff before too as well, not diecast, but I know that they have to make a living and make money in order to actually uh, do this stuff. But I'm talking about people that literally, they're just all out rude about it, and you can tell, and all they're worried about is pretty much the money. They don't care about anything else. That's all they're worried about, is the money. Well, we'll go ahead and we'll get started with the things that that I'm either not frustrated with, but just things I don't like, and stuff like that about things with Whatnot sellers or their auctions, and stuff like that. Uh, the first thing is going to be something that it's not that I necessarily dislike, I just don't get, and that is the whole advertising and starting things for $1 to try to attract more people, uh, which it does, which I don't understand why it does, because it's really not going to matter, because there's going to be if there is going to be tons of people in there and it does attract tons of people, you're not going to get it for $1. You're just not going to get it for $1. I don't understand why that attracts so many people. But when they do that and it doesn't attract that many people, and they start something for $1 and it doesn't go for what they think it should go for, what they want it to go for, then they actually complain. And I'm not talking about just saying nonchalantly, "Oh wow, I'm shocked that it went for that," or something. I'm talking about down and out being rude and everything else on actual streams, because it doesn't get to what they want it to get to. If they want it to be a certain price, I would rather, instead of a actual seller complaining about it, I would rather them, if they want it to go for $5, list it for $5. Then if it doesn't go, that just means that people just don't want to pay $5 for it, or they don't collect it, or something along those lines. You still got it. You don't have to complain you lost money on it. I don't get the whole dollar to start or listing things that if it don't go for a certain amount of what you think it's going to go for, just because you think you list it for $1, it's going to get way up there. I don't like that aspect of it. It's just, I don't see why sellers and buyers just aren't catching on to that. That just this dollar start stuff really doesn't mean anything. It all depends on how many people you have coming to your stream and all that stuff. It's a hit or miss with everything on what it's actually going to go for. And you're not going to actually get a huge deal on these dollar starts if they have a lot of people coming to these actual streams. I know people that, oh, they're going to dollar start this stuff. They're going to dollar start this stuff. When you get in there, I guarantee you most of the time, they're going to have a lot of people in there, and it's not going to go for $1. So you're going to have a lot of competitions and everything and stuff, so you're not going to get really any big old huge deals. Because a lot of times when you have a lot of people in there in an actual stream, they will actually, that's the reason why streamers like to have a lot of people in there, they will actually overpay just a little bit for certain stuff, versus if you have an average amount of people in there where you'll get it at a good price, or you'll get like a major deal on the stuff. So again, I don't get the whole dollar start stuff. I don't even look at that stuff anymore. I don't even bother with that stuff anymore. It's just like them listing it for whatever it actually goes for, because they know that they want $10 or $15 out of it, and it's going to get up to that eventually anyway. So that dollar start stuff is just, in my mind, that's just a marketing thing. Now, I'm not saying anything bad about people that want to list stuff for $1 and want to give people deals, dollar deals, $2 deals, $3 deals, up, $5, whatever it is, deals. I'm not downing anybody that does that part of it, because people do that to, some sellers do that to want to give the community a really, really good deal. But most of the ones that do that dollar stuff, that advertise for the dollar start stuff, knows good and well that chances are, if they have enough people in, that it's going to get up to the high dollar value that they want it to anyway. So they're better off just to go ahead and list it for that price. And if it gets above that price, then okay, then it's all good. In my mind, that's just my opinion. And to go along with that, though, some of these streamers will also add to, like somebody will come into the stream and they're like, hey, look, do you have this vehicle? Or hey, look, do you have this brand of vehicle, or something along those lines? And they're just asking a question. And the actual seller will get rude with them and say, yeah, I've got that stuff, but do you think I'm going to put it up for $1? Or do you think I'm going to put it up for $2? No way. No way. Maybe if the bids are there and everything and stuff, I might go ahead and put it up. Or the rest of the stuff I planned on putting up in the stream that I advertised about, I'm not going to put up because the bids aren't there. That's just being flat out rude. It really is. Even if you plan on doing that, it's not that you have to actually come out and say that on actual stream. If you're going to do it, just do it or whatever. But that is just being rude, because it's not the seller's or the buyer's fault, because you don't have enough people in there to get the stream to do what you want them to do. They come in there because of what you advertised. They came in there because of what you wanted and everything. And most of the people that ask that, when they do come in and ask like that, they're not even asking them to start them for that much. They're just asking them if they have them. Then they'll ask how much. So some of these sellers, you can really, really tell if they are in it for the actual community and collecting as a whole, or if they are in it just for the actual dollar signs. Another thing I don't like is I don't mind sellers saying this stuff in general. Like I said, this is strictly all the stuff I'm saying is where sellers literally say it rudely or keep saying it or say it to the point where it's downing actual buyers in the streams, and that is when something doesn't go or when something go at all, doesn't sell at all, or if it sells cheaper, and they say, "Wow, this is $20 card," or they will, as it's running, they'll run it for $1 or two if it's like a $20 card, and they'll say, "Wow, no bids? Are you kidding me? Come on, guys, come on! I can't believe nobody ain't bidding on that." And I ain't talking about people that do it in general. You can tell the people that do it rudely, where they literally are downing the actual buyers and stuff because they're not bidding on something just because of the dollar value it is. I don't collect stuff just because of dollar value. I can care less whether it's worth $500 and I can get it for $5. I don't do that. And there are a lot of collectors out there that don't do that. They collect it because they like the stuff. They may not like that particular card. They care less of what the dollar signs are. They're not in it to resell the stuff. They're in it to actually collect the stuff. I say to myself all the time when I hear some of that stuff in a stream, like when sellers will say, well, this is worth this much amount of money all day long, which, again, there's nothing wrong with people periodically saying that. I'm talking about people that are all that rude. Again, let me stress that again. But they say, wow, this is worth it just for the wheels, or wow, this is a $20 card all day long, or, any of that stuff. I sit there and say to myself all the time, well, not to me, it's not. It's not worth that to me. Just because you may think that it has some value of worth as far as dollar signs goes, a collector may not see the worth in it because, again, they're not looking at the actual dollar signs. They're looking at it as collection, and a lot of, it's not just sellers and stuff with the dollar signs, it's the buyers as well. This diecast stuff, just in the time frame that I've started collecting again, with people wanting to just resell, and there's nothing wrong with reselling. I'm just saying these resellers that resell at some god awful price. That's what I'm talking about, and stuff like that. It's gotten out of hand with just looking at dollar signs and not looking at the actual collection, enjoying the collection, enjoying the cards, enjoying what you collect, stuff like that. Another thing what I don't like either is when I have literally seen all out streamers get rude about this, including a big one, a big streamer, get rude about it, actually cuss about it and say screw them and all this other stuff, where they say, talk about the gibbies that they give, the giveaways they give. They talk about gibby goblins, which what that means is they're talking about somebody that comes in, gets a giveaway, and that's all that they do. They don't do anything else. And there are people that just go to the streams just to get the actual giveaways. I'm not talking anything bad about that, and I know the sellers have to eat that cost of the shipping themselves. I get that too as well. It has nothing whatsoever to do with that. What I'm getting ready to say. But they'll be flat out rude about it. I've seen that this big streamer that I'm talking about, sit there and say, let's give you goblins leave or whatever, screw them. Once they leave, we'll do this or something. That's not right. Don't do that. Don't do that. If anybody's considering becoming a seller or whatnot, do not do that. It's only downing your customers. Buyers are your actual customers. So you need to watch what you do. If you have a problem with gibby goblins, then guess what? Don't give any giveaways. Same way, but don't start with $1 if you don't want to go in for $1. It's that simple. It's that simple. Nowadays, the way it is, with shipping costs rising, A lot of people will, if you watch it, they will wait to see if they win an actual giveaway, because that giveaway helps them with their shipping, because they can get to a certain point. It's $8.77 in most streams, and then they get free shipping after that. Anything that they buy after that, it helps them with that, to where they maybe only will have to get up to $6 shipping or something along those lines. They will wait for a giveaway to come up, and then they'll start buying. Because normally that first product that they buy is normally anywhere between $4, $5, $6 for shipping for the very first item. But once they get past that first item, then they might start buying more. So the giveaway helps with that. So a lot of people wait until giveaways, and they will do that, and you will see that too as well. So any sellers out there, that's a little bit of advice to you. If you do want to do giveaways, that does help us buyers out on actual shipping, where we probably will maybe possibly buy a little bit more. And then just one real quick story about the Gibby Goblin thing that I did, that I think that they were calling me a Gibby Goblin, is I went into the stream, and it was the very beginning of the stream. The streamer was doing a couple giveaways. That's the reason why he does the giveaways at the beginning of the stream, to help people with shipping. And I ended up winning the giveaway. And then he started his stuff, and his stuff that he started was old NASCAR stuff. And I don't collect NASCAR. Nothing against people that do collect NASCAR, but I don't collect NASCAR. So I got out of it. I got out of the stream. I went back into the stream because I'm like, maybe he switched to something else, because sometimes they'll switch to something else depending on what comes in the chat and all that stuff. And when I went in there, they were kind of talking about Gibby Goblins, and I'm like, you know what? I'm done. I'm done with this streamer. I'm done with these people and stuff that's in here talking about it too as well. I'm not a Gibby Goblin. I just don't like the stuff that this person was actually selling, and they didn't have no show notes or no nothing before the stream, so I assumed that they were selling regular diecasts. So, like I said, you're better off just not saying anything like that, even if you do believe that. And the last one, and there's a lot of them, don't get me wrong, I'm just mentioning the ones here lately that have really got me burnt out on other streamers, unless my regular streamers that I mentioned earlier, and others that more likely I forgot to mention, because there's more, unless they're actually on, then I'm okay. But a lot of these newer streamers I check out, and all so this kind of stuff that I'm talking about is just, it's getting me burnt out. And I don't know. I have feelings probably burning out some other people too. But anyway, the last thing I want to say is, when streamers actually will say, well, when I get more bids or more people in here, then I'll start running better stuff. Well, that's not fair to the people that come in there, that's been in there for a while with you and waiting for something. Maybe they don't buy main lines and they're just waiting for the premiums or something along those lines. You're losing out on sales too, by the way. Any kind of sales, instead of not having no sales at all, just because things aren't going your way, the stream isn't going your way. You're better off just, again, not to say anything about that stuff, and just go on with whatever you're doing and see what happens in the actual stream. If you don't like what's going on in the stream, then just, say, hey, okay, I only planned on running for a couple hours or whatever, or an hour, and to see what would happen. I'm going to go ahead and get off here, stay tuned to blah, 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 our next stream, and all this other stuff. You don't have to be rude about it. I'm in a stream, and a streamer actually says all that stuff. Says that, if they have more bids or more people come in, then they'll start running the good stuff. That decreases me as a customer in the way that I feel that they value me being there. So I don't even fool with it. I just get out of that stream, and I don't ever be honest with you, I don't ever do business with them again. Because obviously, again, they don't care about the actual customer, which is the buyer, and stuff like that. When it comes to that stuff, they don't value them. But that's all the ones I wanted to say for right now. There are a lot, a lot more. But again, as far as my experience and stuff, I still give Whatnot a 9 out of 10. With the experience and stuff that I have, and with the people that I've met there, the diecast community I've met there, everything else, I just wanted to share some of this stuff because I feel like there's other people that are frustrated with this stuff, but just aren't saying anything. Uh, but my next one, my next video will be actually about the actual uh, buyer. What I don't like to see about buyers when I'm in actual streams as an actual buyer myself. So you'll want to stay tuned to that. Thank you for staying this long, listening to me. Again, hopefully I'll get back to after this, maybe get back to my regular con, maybe in between it, if I can get some stuff, get back to showing you some diecast and all that other stuff. But have a great day, everybody. Have a blessed day, and we'll see you in the next video.